there is this big message about this difficulty of owning it, of really feeling and seeing that you have become this thing, that you are this thing. And it's okay. It's okay. So that's fine. Like, it's okay. It's actually a part of the process. But it's like you have had this identity for a really long time, a certain level that was really freaking limited about yourself. And in the last, since spring equinox 2024, and then there was that like crazy eclipse in April, really this whole year, but it almost like jump started, like the gasoline was put in the tank of you like changing rapidly kind of in February, but it's just getting quicker and quicker and quicker. And you've been having these glimpses of like the I am and owning it and really stepping into that. But there is this part of you that despite your successes, that despite the things you've been manifesting, that despite the new character you have embodied, just cannot freaking own it. Like, and it's a part of this, okay? Like, it doesn't mean that you're, oh no, because I'm not like owning it, like I'm not fully in it. It is the part of the cocoon and the change of the butterfly. Like, you come out of the cocoon and you only knew yourself as caterpillar. So now you're the butterfly who understands itself as a caterpillar and now needs to learn its new identity. And this takes time. And that's why it's okay that you still can't like really fully freaking own this new level of yourself. And really, there might be this feeling of like there's these things happening for you that are really beautiful and profound, and you can't actually like have this gratitude for it because there's some kind of, it's like caterpillar vision of your reality, and like you're not like getting how freaking awesome it is that these things have been happening for you and that you're doing these things and accomplishing these things and overcoming these things. Like, it is mad freaking props to you, my friend. Like, there is some freaking level up and this insane just rapid growth that you've been doing this last year, and that in itself is something to be majorly proud of yourself for, because this level of rapid growth is so ungrounding and so just once you've changed in this one way, it change again and change again. So I'm here to tell you it's okay that, and like you might even have these things with like imposter syndrome or not really. It's because you have freaking changed and you're just seeing through the eyes of caterpillar, and it's fine because you're getting accustomed to this new version of you. It is so new, and I am telling you, if you are watching this, there is something really awesome that has changed about you this year. Really a new level up. And I know that you have felt it at moments, but you don't get how awesome it is. Like you're not really like kind of honoring this. Again, it's fine. It's just a part of the thing. So we're going to get some wisdom from the cards. I am Cara Elizabeth. I'm the author, illustrator, and creator of Animal Apothecary card deck. And also I want to give a shout out. I just had a really freaking cool interview in Harper's Bazaar, India, their online platform. So I'll link it below, but they did this whole thing on myself and Animal Apothecary, and also spoke about my new upcoming deck, Body Tech, which we'll be using too. So let's talk about, I first want to just ask any love and wisdom and guidance from the aspect of you who is blinded to you right now. Like there is, and I know that there's a part of you that can sense that there's something like a limited view of yourself. Let's just talk to that part. Let's invite that part in. Let's invite that shadow in. And I first want you to ask that part of you, you know, like it's right next to you. What if you could be anything or do anything? Every time I do this with this aspect of myself, it says the same thing every time. All the different shadowy parts, they're all like, that's what we want to be. So, okay. So talk to that part of you who is like caterpillar, who sees themselves in this kind of smaller version, and ask that version, what is it you want to be? Like anything, like we can transmute this. Okay. So now that you have had that conversation, just think of transmuting and using your energy together to become that thing. And I'm pulling a card. Okay, now I want you to connect to the version of you, even if it feels far away, even if you don't even know what that feels like, who is like owning it, who is feeling it, who is seeing it, who just is so embodied in like, I did it. I am this thing. I am this thing. I'm owning it. I am owning it. It's like beyond owning it. I feel it. I feel it inside myself. I feel this thing. And like the gratitude for it. This one's gonna get 2 cards. And now I want you to think of the, just what you have been working towards creating and manifesting. Just think of that. I know there's at least 2 things, so we're going to do 1 and 2. So think of the first thing. This fell out. Now think of the second thing. All right, and now any love and guidance and wisdom from our bodies of just really what would be helpful in us owning this and just like honoring it. Like that's the thing, like honoring. Like you've changed and you're not honoring that you are already the thing you've been seeking to become. Pull 2. Okay, so let's start with, isn't that funny? Isn't that freaking funny? Your, the shadow that we just talked to, the shadow we just freaking talked to, nourish the shadow. And that's what we just did. That's us nourishing and having conversations and inviting them in to integrate, because our shadows want to serve us. Our shadow is where the diamond lives. Our shadow is literally the thing that is like, oh, you've been wanting love? This is how you get it, through the nourishment and acceptance and loving that. Oh, you want to be a millionaire? This is how you get it. This is how, it's through your freaking shadow. So having these conversations, and that's why I love, like, ask the shadow what it wants to be. Ask the shadow what it wants. And then make a collective decision with yourself and your shadow, like, okay, let's work for that. Let's do that. Let's create it. But it's almost like there's this kind of chemistry that happens and this alchemy that happens when you decide together. Because it's almost like, so say you wanted some level of love. When it's just the shadow trying to get love, it's going to do all those like things that are going to attract the love that makes a reflection of it's not good enough, or the avoidant partner or whatever. And if it's just like coming from your wishful thinking consciousness that maybe really isn't, it's like, back up what I just said. I just think there needs to be a collective kind of agreement of like, this is what we both want. Because otherwise it is just going to come from like the desperate, needy place of the shadow that is wanting the recognition because it doesn't feel good enough, right? Like that's it. Like there's a pure part of you who's like, I want the love because like, duh, I'm a human and I was created to like have a community and have amazing love, and duh, I want recognition because what else am I sharing this art for? It's just not just for myself. Like I want to share it with others and I want them to like have some interaction with it and recognize it. But then if it's just coming from the shadow, the recognition is like, you know, I need your recognition to tell me that I'm good enough. I need it because I actually don't feel good enough about myself. I need this lover to tell me that I'm beautiful and that I'm worth loving because I feel ugly and I don't feel like deserving. So that's why we want to get our shadow in. So having these conversations with our shadow, I am my shadow, like we're right here together with you. Like we're teaming it out. And I've, you know, really pushed you away, so I want you on screen with me. Okay, so we're here. Let's go to the owning it, seeing it, feeling it. So it says, and it's interesting because both of these cards have the same sun behind it. Which one I'm like, okay, duh, you're a light bringer. Like you're here to share your light. But we have you are what you think and we have victory. So this is about the practicing of, we can do all the brainwashing techniques we want and they're very helpful. Like when I have brainwashed myself, I have risen levels up, but there's a difference between really like owning it. And I think that if you're watching this, this is an activation in your owning it. This video is the act of freaking innovation, okay? That like, oh, snap. Did I just say snap? I'm trying not to swear. So, this video is this activization of being like, oh wait, but also like really realizing like, man, I haven't honored this new level of who I am. So you are what you think. And there's this activation happening right now. I want one more card because I just think it surpasses this idea of like, okay, I can think it all I want. Because you have been thinking it, you have been doing it. The thing is, you're not owning it. Let's get one more card. Okay. So the woodpecker, right? First of all, and this is what someone pointed out to me one time on YouTube, or I think they listened to a YouTube and then they emailed me more about woodpecker, that it's the only creature that does what it does. There is no one that does what woodpecker does. Like no other bird, no other species is knocking its head against a piece of wood up to 12,000 times a day. So one, this just tells me that like there is this thing that you have been working toward that you're doing. Only you do this the way you do. Only you love the way you do. Only you speak the way you do. Only you express the way you do. This is you. But there's this constant kind of, it's like the knocking on the wood, like up to 12,000 times a day. Like, so I am seeing this as like the owning it, the feeling it, the seeing it. Yes, you are what you think, but this is actually taking practice and this consistency. I think now, okay, the message is like, it's not just the thinking and the like just repetitive kind of I am statements. It's knowing that your phase right now is, I am working on owning this in the most like foundational way. I'm working on owning this in the most like truth, and I am honoring that a part of me is kind of not recognizing it. And if I just do these like repetitive affirmations, they're not fully helping. So I have to kind of own that this is what I'm working towards now, is owning it. And through this consistency, it's going to lead to this a new opportunity that reflects who you have become. Because there's still some opportunities you've been waiting for. There's still some things you've been trying to like, you know, bend your reality to kind of come up with these things. And you're getting hints and you're getting tastes, but you're not fully embraced in this thing. And this is having this like, you know, working with your shadow, having this kind of recognition of, it's because I'm not 100% fully owning that I'm butterfly. And that's, but this is a part of it. It's not blocking you. It's not stopping the thing from coming, because it's the natural freaking process of you finally freaking flying so high. And victory is yours because it's coming to you. And there is something about how this really aligns with your purpose in this owning this, because this is what you were created to do. This is it. And I think there is something about how that has felt beyond your wildest dreams and too good to be true for so long, because you've been working toward this thing for so long. But it is coming. Now, the thing that you're working toward manifesting, we picked two things and you probably already forgot it. I mean, you know the things, but you're like, what was one and what was two? So just try to go think of number one, or just think of the thing you're manifesting, one of the things, because we said there was going to be two. So think of the first thing. See yourself as that, be that freaking thing. Whatever you're scared of isn't real. Whatever you are scared of isn't real. And this work that you're doing with now, not just repetitive affirmations, there's something about, I keep saying it, it's like, I don't know what kind of techniques you're doing, but I think the focus needs to be on, oh, I really need to own this. Like, I need to feel and honor that I am this thing. It's going to start breaking your guards down, because the guards are like the things that have kind of been keeping you in your own prison of self. Because this is the story about how this guy he, you know, shark attacked him when he was little. He grows up, he carries harpoon everywhere, and it's total turn off and like weird. But he thinks he's protecting himself. Like, it makes total sense. Like, I'm just protecting myself in case I get, you know, shark comes when I'm at the mall. So there's some really ridiculous bodyguards and shields that are ready to come down for you, and which will happen the more you have this like nourishing conversation with your shadow, the more that you recognize that this next phase right now, because if you follow my readings, we are going into our abundance phase. But my last reading, or one of my last readings, it was talking about the preparation for the abundance phase. And this is the preparation. So we did a lot of clearing. There's still crap coming up. But now one of the things, the clearing is this illusion. There's some kind of veil that has been like really hasn't let you see yourself. Oh my God, that's what this is all about. You have not seen yourself. You have not fully, oh my God. And when you see yourself, it will be the greatest gift. It will be like you are so honored that you get to be you. And look, I just pulled, I wasn't even looking, I just pulled You're going to see your self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect. And there's this look at, he's coming out of coins. Like, you are the freaking abundance. The second thing you thought about manifesting, it's better than you can imagine. It's bigger than your wildest dreams. And you're still in this gestation phase. But to me, that baby looks like it's about to pop. It looks almost like 9 months. Like it's coming. It's coming. The second thing. So let's go back to the first thing, because it just said like you got some fear around that and it's a lie. What else does the first thing that you were talking about, manifesting, want to share? All right, yeah, we get it. See beyond the past. There's some like old stories, because this is like, you're this beautiful black swan and you see yourself as the child, the little made fun of ugly duckling who was never ugly and who was never a duckling, but was this beautiful black swan, and they just see themselves in the mirror as this crying little kid version of themselves. Okay, so there's some hang-ups clearly around that first thing you said. Probably ties into the second thing you want to manifest too, obviously. Any other love and wisdom and guidance about this first thing that they said they want to manifest? So you're in the midst of this evolution, of this expansion of yourself, and because octopus expands in all directions, this means when you're expanding forward, you're expanding right, left, and backwards, and that you want to start seeing your child self as empowered. You want to start seeing you from a year ago empowered, you from 20 years ago empowered. No more victim. You got to see them empowered, because when you're empowering your past, they're empowering your now, they're empowering your future, even though it's all now. So start really seeing how powerful all these aspects of you are. And then what did our body want to say? Of course, glorify your power and choose confidence. So how are you going to show up? So this is like, put your freaking head up. And even if the practicing of owning it is just the acting of it, the practicing, that's fine. There's something about this practice that needs to happen right now. Put your head freaking up. If all you can do is change your posture from this to this, change it. It change your physiology. Changing your posture changes everything within your body. So when you're in a difficult situation or you're facing that thing, change your freaking posture and say, let's go. I'm a freaking warrior. Like, I got this. Glorify your power means put all of your thought. You're so powerful that you have put so much power into the illusion of being powerless. You have put so much power into the story of not good enough that you believe it. And this is asking you, put your power into the higher thought. This is the higher thought card. This is the glorify your power. No more power in the dungeon. Glorify your power. See yourself attaining that understanding of yourself. See yourself, allowing yourself to see yourself, because that's what the problem has been this entire time, is that you have never fully seen yourself. Because if you actually saw yourself, you would see how powerful, how beautiful, how kind, how loving, how mystical, how gifted, how all the things you are. And that is what you are being asked to put your power in, is this, and I think it's a step-by-step process. So putting this power in during this preparation phase for your abundance. By the way, I'm doing an I Am the Abundance workshop. It is, I think, November 10th. It will be live in New York City, in person and virtual. We're figuring out how we might do something slightly, a platform different for virtual, but sign up for my email list. All the info is below to make sure you do not miss this, because there will be an extended challenge to really get you in the alignment of this. It's so you can see yourself. We are here for you to see yourself, because it's just been it's time to see that you're the freaking gift. And let's do one more for the road. Take a big deep breath in. Of course, service. You have this gift you're meant to share with humanity. You have this gift that if you do it and you share it, it is your medicine, potentially more than even for those others. It's your freaking medicine. Your gift to others is your prescription. It is your Xanax. It is your Zoloft. It is your whatever. It's whatever freaking. It's your medicine, and it will be so healing for you to share what you were created to do. It's your purpose. All right, I love you all. World peace forever. And can we just all take a moment to just think of peace? There's so much. Can we just create a light around the world? Really, really big light. And I'm bringing in all people of all religions, of all spiritual backgrounds, of all cultures, all of our diversity. You know, this creator loves diversity. And everyone has their own diverse ways of how they pray and communicate with this great mystery, this thing beyond us that we can't even understand, that is also a part of us. So I'm bringing in all the peoples and all the teachings and all your understandings. And I'm even bringing in known and unknown energies right now. Bring them in, bring in your ancestors, bring them in. And I'm going to say from my faith, Yah Baha'u'llah Pa, which is, it is invoking this thing beyond us, and just sharing this light. Just see this light around Mother Earth. Share it with every human. Go to those, just go everywhere and just fill your light in. Just bring the light in and say a prayer in your heart. Maybe you can hear that excited motorcycle outside because we are all sharing our light. Okay, thank you guys. World peace forever. I love you.